A brawl was breaking out. For all their transhuman virtues, the assembled legionaries were behaving no better than children. They were bickering about whose Primarch was better.
Gavarni,
Gorias said.
you're part of this.
Gavarni clenched his jaw. An insult to the Lupercal is an insult to us all. The ground shook. The Lunar Wolves roared. The Imperial Fist frowned, not impressed, not affronted, not annoyed.
Keep your blood down.
Gorias said.
We've slaughtered the same enemies on the same fields. We're brothers, like our gene fathers, so we settle this like brothers.
Gavarni balled his fists. I like the sound of that. Gorias swelled up and raised his mug.
The Emperor, beloved by all, has a favored son. To the Lupercal, Lord of the 16th.
The gathered fists raised their cups, howling at Lactrical's moons. It was a toast and a playful jeer. Gavarni deflated. You honor the Lupercal. Gorias' laughter was like an earthquake.
The Primarchs are brothers, as are we. To honor us one is to honor us all.
Evander Gorias served as a captain of the Imperial Fist Legion during the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. A veteran of the Wars of Unification, whose deeds continued to burgeon during the Emperor's crusade to unite the stars. During his tenure as Breacher Lieutenant, Gorias collaborated with Lunar Wolves Legion during their efforts to destroy the Xenos Lactrical species, his merciless strategies gaining the praise of Horus Lupercal himself. Clad in his panoply known as the Tyrant's Regalia, and armed with a power gauntlet constructed upon old Earth known as the Subjugator, where bludgeoning strikes did not suffice, his Volkite charger, Incineratus, immolated any who defied the will of the Praetorian. Establishing a close bond with the Reaver Attack Squad member, Gavarni, during the campaign, as each saved the other's life from the most perilous of skirmishes, each considered one another as a brother who transcended the bounds of Legion lines. Rogel Dorn, whilst respecting Evander for his pedigree and unquestioning loyalty, wary of his brutal ideals. Following the purge of the Lactrical, the now Lord Castellan would be assigned to garrison duties to better temper his behavior. The betrayal of the Horus Heresy, shattering his camaraderie with the 16th Legion beyond all repair. During the Siege of Caphonia, crestfallen former companions would wrestle for control of the War Master's homeworld. Gorias garrisoned on Caphonia, leading the 465th Company of New Bloods, with the Sons of Horus staging their counter-invasion to resecure their homeworld. Captain Assuradon beset the Lupercal's gate of the primary Hive City, vowing to Dorn never to abandon his post on Caphonia until his own commands demanded he withdraw. As Gorias dug in, the traitors attempted to assassinate Evander in efforts to destabilize the Imperial Fist command structure. Captain Assuradon ordering the now chieftain Gavarni to bring him the head of his old brother-in-arms. The Reaver, still harboring remnants of kinship in his heart, attempted to capture the Lord Castellan in order to convert him to the allegiance of Chaos. The heathen Reaver squad failing in their attempts to reforge Gorias as an ally in cause. The protracted series of battles upon the Traitor's Gate cost Gavarni many men until finally confronting Evander in person. Beseeching the Imperial Fist to ally with the cause of the War Master, and thus his chaotic patrons. Seeing such a poisoned chalice for what it was, Gorias refused such an offer, stating he would never betray the Imperium. Countering his offer with redemption by spurning his own Primarch's madness, Gavarni acceded to the Lord Castellan's offer, organizing a location wherein the two could meet alone. Harboring betrayal in his heart, alike to all traitors, Gavarni orchestrated an ambush site for Gorias. The Lord Castellan, wise to such a deception, ordering his men to evacuate the Geneforge facilities within the Hive, following contact with the Dark Angel's Dreadwing. Leaving Gavarni to stew at the meeting site, never intending to arrive, as Gorias and elements of the Loyalist Thousand Sons made haste to a Stormbird evacuation site. Eventually, the chieftain abandoned his pretense of a truce. Locating the withdrawing Imperial Fists, unleashing their frustration with Bolter and Blade. Though Gavarni attempted a fatal charge at Gorias, the enormous Astartes cast the traitor through a breach in the Hive City's walls. Gavarni perishing during his fall from the Traitor's Gate as Gorias and his men fled from the battle. As Eschaton Marduk Cedras of the 1st Legion bombarded Caphonia with vortex bomb payloads, Evander felt a pang of shame for abandoning his post. Reassigned by Rogel Dorn to aid the bitter war following the Loyalist Pyrrhic victory during the Siege of Terra, This campaign, lasting over 2 decades, pitted remnants of the Wordbearers Legion against that of the Medusan Council, Ultramarines, and Imperial Fists. Dark Apostle Yashan Tur, defending the world of Colchis from the Loyalist scouring. Though nominally led by the Iron Hands as reprisal for the raid on their homeworld of Medusa, the Imperial Fist would do their part in bringing justice to Lorgar's sons. Nanoplagues, amalgam bioautomata, and red phages unleashed from the vaults of Medusa by the Sons of the Gorgon. In the wake of such destruction, several 17th Legion warbands rallied to defend their Primarch's homeworld, with commensurate zeal of such fanatics. Gorias, the loyal sons of Magnus, and Ultramarines captain Remus Ventanus aiding the final battle to sunder Colchis, with the standard of Calf placed firmly into the soil of Lorgar's fiefdom. The 13th Legion withdrew from the battle, allowing their battle barge Octavius to fire cyclonic torpedoes to obliterate its form. Evander Gorias, now witnessing the destruction of 2 Primarch's homeworlds. Though his deeds henceforth are unknown, doubtless he would stand vindicated in the eyes of the Praetorian as a necessary weapon to be fielded in the retribution to come.